Okay. Hey guys, so we are back with another interview. I told you we were bringing the AMBW interviews back, and so we're still at it. So tonight I have a very special guest, Miss Shaniece. She is right above me or next to me, I guess. I don't know how YouTube is going to display the thing, but as is customary, I always let the guests introduce themselves. So Shaniece, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Uh, well, hi, my name is Shaniece. I also go by the name Medusa. I am a tarot reader, makeup artist. I do a whole lot of things. And that's about it. I don't really talk about myself that much. So,
Okay. Well, to everyone watching at home, so like I said, I know a lot of the channels, a lot of shows, whatever people will usually do research about their guests. I'm lazy, so I don't do shit. But I also enjoy sort of getting it from the audience perspective too, and learning about the person just sort of just completely barefree. So but a couple things in there that I really caught my mind. So you said you are a tarot reader, a tarot card reader.
yep,
Wow, that's really cool. No, actually,
been
it's
doing it for a year.
that's very interesting. So, like I was saying to my last guest, he was a firefighter, and I don't know anything about firefighting other than they fight fires, which is kind of amateur way of saying that. But other than that, I like these interviews because it gives me the opportunity to learn more about different professions and a lot of different other areas of life that I wouldn't otherwise probably learn about. So, but enough about my voice, as much as I love it. Why don't you tell us? My question to you, it's not really a question. What exactly is tarot reading? What goes into it, and what draws you to it? Why are you interested in it?
Well, what brought me to it, I was called to it really. And basically, what it is just spiritual guidance. Some people look at us as life coaches in some sort of form. Some people look at us as spiritual advisors, which is what we are. So most of anybody can do tarot, honestly, if you learn the meaning of the cards. But a lot of us that tend to do it, we are interpretive readers, meaning we know the meaning of the cards, but the message is coming from somewhere else. And I tend to do general readings. I have done personal, but I like to just chill from those because they take a lot out of me. And it's been pretty cool to just do it for like a year because I've been doing makeup and everything else. So this is a totally new avenue. But I've been able to excuse me, I've been able to help people like in a matter of a year's time. And I just want to continue doing it because it's fun. It does have its little financial perks here and there, but I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it to help people. So, because I'm like, money will come regardless, but that's not the main focal point of why I do it.
Interesting. And I just want to clarify something. So I okay, so this is gonna sound well. I mean, that's why I'm asking it. But so, do tarot card readers is that involve any sort of like supernatural? Are you able to communicate to the dead or reach out to people's like dead relatives or anything like that?
Yeah, I do have medium gifts. Yes, and
Oh,
those are fairly new. But ever since I was like when I was a little girl, and then in my teenage years, when I was really active in the church, I got prophesied over twice by two different people, and both of them said I had the gift of being clairvoyant, and that's being able to have the gift of sight. You can see things before they happen. But since I've started doing tarot and going down my spiritual journey, more things have been unlocking. And I was like, oh, so the medium is new. I'm not gonna lie, it can be scary, but it's actually really fun. But it's cool to be able to do that. Now, one thing is I'm not the type of person to, if I don't get a reading or if I don't get a vibe off of something, I'm not gonna sit up here and make something up. But I have learned when it comes to me with the medium thing, if I touch or hold something of the deceased person, things come a little bit easier versus me just trying to pull things out of thin air.
that is so fucking cool. Sorry, I just I'm being honest. Like I do swear, it's uh, but it's just because it's so cool. Like me personally, like I've never thought about going to a card reader or tarot reader or anything like that, or like any sort of medium. I used to watch that show Medium. It was good like the first 2 seasons. After that, it sort of went downhill. But it really sounds interesting. And me personally, I think a big reason why I haven't done it is because I don't know a whole lot of dead people. Like I just like I mean like I know, well, not to sound disrespectful or anything like that, but like I guess probably the closest ones to me would be like my grandparents, who I really weren't
Mhm.
that I wasn't that close with. And then as far as friends go, I'm kind of a loner, so I don't really have any dead friends. I knew a couple of people who did unfortunately pass away from
I'm
my high
sorry to hear
school.
that.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's always unfortunate. But in general, yeah, I wasn't that close to them. So I guess it's actually a good thing. Because I do know a lot of people. I know a couple of single moms who have lost people like, children or partners or anything like that. So in that regard, it's sort of unrelated, kind of more serious note. Like I don't really, yeah, I guess I'm more fortunate. I guess sort of like you bring that up, sort of brought to my head. I'm like, oh yeah, I've been kind of fortunate. But people have been getting older, so unfortunately, that's the circle of life. But
Yeah.
so I sort of got off track a little bit. Um, I have a couple questions for you regarding the tarot card readings. The first one would be, what is the biggest assumption or misconception that people have about that profession?
That it's of the devil, and it's not. But I will honestly tell you, I would not suggest anyone just get read by any old person, because you have people that pull from a higher source, and then you have people that pull from a lower source, if you get what I mean. So you would have to be aware of that. Also, people think we're just making stuff up. No, we're not just making stuff up. There are people who have been like Miss Cleo. She was a scammer. But a lot of us out here that are doing it now, we're not Joanne the scammers or Miss Cleo. So no, that's not it. And another thing is, people can take things a little bit too seriously. Um, I've experienced people getting butthurt from general drops, but I'm like, you're not supposed to get offended. If you do, maybe I'm doing my job and you just need to listen to the message. But some people think that we will do it to hurt people. No, that's not the case. The only way that anything that I or any tarot reader can hurt anyone is if someone takes what we say and manipulate it to get whatever they want out of someone. But the biggest misconception is, oh, it's of the devil. No, it's not. It's not.
And so I know I'm not gonna drag this interview out, but there's just so many things obviously that I have so many questions. I'm not gonna ask all of them, but I have my next question would be, so I'll preface it by saying, like I said, I don't know anything about what is it that, sorry, let me start. I don't know anything about your profession. Obviously, that's why I'm asking all these questions. Everything that I know, not to sound ignorant, but being completely honest, everything I know is from film and TV. Right. And I had this conversation with my previous guest, like I said, who was a firefighter. I told him the exact same thing I'm telling you. Everything that I know pretty much is from the media. Right. And it's not even from documentaries. It's like from fictional movies and TV series, everything like that. And we all know how, Hollywood loves to glamorize and exploit and sort of, change the narrative to fit
Mhm.
basically like, ticket sales, to sell tickets. Right. And so for me personally, my favorite genre of film, though, it's ironic I'm talking to you, is horror. And I'm sorry, don't I should have said that differently, but you sort of get what I'm saying. When it comes to,
I love horror
like,
too. I'm actually
exactly,
a special effects makeup artist as well. So yeah, I
exactly,
get where you're coming.
and I think that's awesome too. And I'll get to that in a bit. But my favorite movies are horror, and I come from a very kind of superstitious family. So superstitious, they're all church going people, but they would never let me watch movies like The Exorcist. They wouldn't even let me bring a Ouija board home. Because we all know what happens, according to Hollywood and everything like that, when you fuck with Ouija boards. So I've never done it personally, but I definitely, I respected all that stuff. But now that I'm an adult, I'm like, I look back on this stuff, I'm like, they kind of blowing things out of proportion and all that stuff. And so,
Mhm.
because it's just a movie. But so that sort of brings me to my next question to you, is like, what are your thoughts on how Hollywood portrays, basically what you do, right? Like, what are things that you know what I mean, would like maybe things, two or three things, or whatever, that you would pick out and say, that's not right, or I would change this. This is inaccurate. This is accurate. All that stuff.
Well, sometimes when they portray a mystic or whatever you may call us, um, or witch or whatever, sometimes they get it right. Sometimes you can tell they're doing it for ticket sales. One person in particular, if you've ever seen The Craft, Nancy Downs, Feruza and Bach, she actually was Wiccan. So some things you've seen in that movie were actually kind of close to on par, because she was actually present to actually say, hey, this is not it or whatever. What some people do, they go too far with the whole evil thing. Like, I don't, yeah, there are evil spirits and stuff that float around out there, but I mean, it's not as, now have I witnessed somebody be possessed? Yes. I've actually seen that, but it's not all the hoopla, bells and whistles and stuff. You know, you have to do stuff to keep things entertaining, but some things I have seen happen that you can't explain. So just the only thing is, I would, I just hate that they demonize spirituality so much, because it's not one set religion or one set tradition. Oh, we're just going to, you know, just say it's all Satan and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, that's not the case. And I used to believe.
Did we lose you for a bit? Um, let's see. I think we lost. Hang on. I think I don't know if I lost her. Can you hear me? Hang on. And I don't know if you one. Okay. So, yeah, we were picking up from the second half. Sorry, guys, technical difficulties. But the last time that we were talking, Shaniece, you were telling me about, you know, sort of the, like the, I guess, differences or sort of falsities that Hollywood likes to portray when they talk about, you know, your profession and whatnot. You know what I mean? Because obviously, you know, the horror genre is very popular. And so, you know, sort of like supernatural communication with, you know, spirits and whatnot. I'm sure there are a lot of differences. So, sort of going from what we were talking about last time, what were, you know, just sort of wrapping that point up. What were, I guess, your last few points regarding that? You know.
Just that spirituality, it doesn't need to be demonized. It's like I said, if it's not one set religion, oh, it has to be Satan. It's not. It's not. It's, in the grand scheme of things, it's, to me, it's a lifesaver, honestly. So I just wish to stop demonizing everything. I mean, yeah, there's, you know, stuff that you shouldn't play with a Ouija board if you don't know what you're doing and stuff like that, but that comes with territory. I mean, that's pretty much it. I just,
Right.
sorry, there's a cat. I would just appreciate that they would stop demonizing everything that's spiritual, that's not a set religion, because it's just messed up.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And that's honestly why I have never and probably will never mess with a Ouija board because I don't know. Even though to me it's kind of ironic that you say that. Not like criticizing you at all, but it's just like ironic that you say that because you know the Ouija board is a very popular basically like kind of popular children's plaything at this point. It's you know advertised, sold in you know Toys R Us's and toy stores everywhere, so it's not that hard to get one. Everyone can get one, but me personally, I'm never ever gonna fuck with that. Because my mom told me not to. You're basically saying don't fuck with it if you don't know what you're doing. So
I'm
I
basically saying the same thing.
yeah
Don't mess with
exactly.
it if you don't know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, no. When I have kids, I'm never getting them one. None of that shit in my house. But okay,
No,
so
because one of my friends was like, it's fun to do all of this type of, you know, mess with Ouija boards and divot boxes and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, it's all fun and games until one of them demons come and kick your ass. So I'm
well,
like, don't play with something that you don't know what you're messing with. So
exactly, and that's why I mean, like one of my favorite movies is The Exorcist, which, if you read the book and you know saw the movie, everybody like everybody knows what that is. But it's definitely, I believe that's how Reagan, like that's basically the inciting incident That's how she conjures up the demon or the devil or whatever it's supposed to be. So it's like the minute I saw that, I was like, no, I'm not. I love the movie, but I'm not gonna fuck with that shit. Um, so so sort of transitioning to our next point. So
Yeah. Mhm.
okay, so yeah, so the just for future reference, everyone watching right now, the internet connection is a bit unstable, unfortunately, but I'm doing my best here. So if it kind of lags, it's okay. It won't cut out like last time. So I want to sort of jump points. I want to go back to the makeup thing, but I want to really quickly jump to the next point, which is the AMBW. And I'll be honest, I've never met a tarot card reading professional who was experienced in AMBW. So this is definitely a first. Like I said, I think your profession is awesome, but I would also like to go into your experiences with AMBW. And you told me before we started the show that you have experiences with that. So I will just let you. Well, I guess I ask, what have your experiences been like with AMBW? Are you currently in an AMBW relationship? In the past, if any of your past relationships, did they go well or sort of end on a high or bad note, or yeah, what happened?
Okay. I am currently in a relationship. It's not a um AMBW relationship. But the one that I had in the past, I had one good experience and one bad experience. The bad experience, that guy was just a jerk. Period. The good experience, I actually had an issue with mom, not with the person I was seeing. And that's because I was shocked because I'm Korean and I thought the dad would be more traditional. It was mom. The dad was more chillax. We have fortunately lost touch with each other, and then he passed away like a couple of years ago in a car accident. Uh, right as I just found him again, but his dad took a shining to me. Like I said, his mom, no. There were some interesting cultural things I did learn, but the most part, on not the other one. I don't even want to talk about the other one. But with the Korean, that was a cool experience. He was just chilled and laid back. I've only had 2 experiences. That's why I feel kind of bad. It's not like I've had a long experience, but if I, if I wasn't with the person, I was giving it another try.
Mm. Yeah, well, yeah, that's cool. No, that's absolutely fine. Me personally, I like AMBW experiences. I've had like I guess technically only two myself, so that's fine. That's absolutely fine. It doesn't matter the amount. I always say quality over quantity. So, but yeah, no, but that's interesting that you say traditional versus sort of more kind of just laid back, non.
Yeah, because I noticed that real quick. I did not like her, but she was real quick to say that she had a problem because I was not Korean. And I was like, oh, you're one of those. But the dad, he was so chillaxed. And he even said that you should have known better because our son was attracted to the more darker skinned Korean girls across seas anyway. And I was like, oh, word. So that kind of opened up a whole bunch that I did not realize. And I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. I was just expecting the dad to be more on the more traditional stuff, not the mom, because she gave me hell. But I gave it right back. So there.
Yeah, I myself, I unfortunately have kind of similar experiences, or one similar experience. Like I was going out with this Mexican girl, Mexican American, and her mom is straight up country. Like she's from Mexico, so she is very old school, very traditional. And I found that out the hard way. And so, without going too much into detail, we have a lot in common in that regard.
Okay.
But no, I mean, you know what? Like that, that shit happens all the time. Like people are, unapproving, they don't approve or they approve, all that stuff. I mean, really, it really shouldn't matter. It really, in the end, especially, if your children are, grown, right? If they're adults and, they can make their own choices and fall in love with whoever they want to. But I
Mhm.
don't think, but even saying that, I don't think that that takes away from the fact that, like, sometimes, children, not like children, but like, grown-ups, basically, they look to their parents, what I mean, for approval or whatever. They're still sort of seeking that kind of, confirmation. It's okay, whatever. Like, for me, my parents don't give a shit. What I mean? Like, my parents, the things that, my mom, my dad taught me, and my sister, is that, love whoever you want, just as long as they treat you good. And
Right.
I feel like that should be, preached and taught throughout all households. But, that's not realistic, unfortunately. Um,
Eh, give it more time.
you
People have
know,
to work through stuff.
absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? Like I said, it's 2021. You know what I mean? It's almost 2022. You know what I mean? Like everyone's mixing nowadays. Everyone has been mixing for decades, for centuries. It doesn't matter. Well, it shouldn't matter. But anyway, but no, you know what? Like I said, part of this channel's mission statement is that we do celebrate that union. You know what I mean? We like talking about it. We like dissecting it. And unfortunately, sometimes a lot of that, some of that stuff, can be more on the negative side, you know what I mean, depending on, your interactions with, like you just said, family members, you know what I mean, other loved ones, you know what I mean, that are part of your, significant other's family or whatever. I've also dealt not only with family, but like from friends too, right? Like I've learned, um I don't want to generalize here, but like, some of the girls that I've talked to, well, not a few of them, whatever, like their friends for some reason or another did not approve of me. And I want to say this too. I don't know if this is like a coincidence or anything like that, but for the most part, those friends that didn't approve of me were all male. They're all just like me, you know what I mean? But it's like I figured, like, because I've gone out, I've talked to a couple of tomboys here and there, you know what I mean? Whatever, I found them attractive, whatever. And I was hoping that it would go somewhere, but like for one girl in particular, I remember her friends did not like me for whatever reason. They were all guys. She didn't have one single girlfriend. And I was like, oh, cool. At first I was like, cool. I'll hang out with them, get to know them. You know what I mean? Just, be like, bros and stuff like that. No, man. No, guys. Well, I've learned this the hard way. Guys, when a girl you're talking to or whatever has all guy friends, that means usually they're worse than the girlfriends, because the girlfriends are more receptive. The guy friends are all protective. For some reason or another, they act like not like friends to the girl, but more like brothers, right? To the girl. Like, it's like, I mean, I have a sister, so I can kind of relate. At the same time, I don't know. I don't know where that came from. Basically, I know, way off tangent. Um, Basically, I just felt like kind of venting because that was one frustration that I dealt with. And so, well, I guess, on that note, since I have you here, I was going to ask you, I don't know, obviously I don't know you at all, but like, do you have mostly guy friends? And if that's the case, do you sort of find them to be kind of, protective or whatever when it comes to, you know what I mean, like potential suitors or whatever?
I do. I actually have, it's a nice mix, but I do have a little bit more guy friends than I do girlfriends. And yes, I do have some guy friends who are very protective. And I do have some guy friends who I know that they have a preference. 75% of it, because I know a good portion of it is some BS because they're not happy I'm with someone and not them. But no, and sometimes guys, well, it's different. I have to say it's different, but sometimes guys can pick out stuff that, you know, we would miss, but then you have to be careful of, oh, sorry, oh,
No,
I'm
okay.
tired. Then you have to be careful of, like I said, the ones who are just like undercover jealous. That's it. And usually I'm too detail oriented to skip over that. So I do notice when someone's like, hey, you should be careful of this person, because I don't like the vibe that comes off of them, or if it's coming from a genuine place or they just don't like. what they see. So
Yeah, no, 100%. And I get that. I don't have that many friends that are girls. I think I did at one point, and I was a little bit protective, but it's just in general, I didn't give a shit personally. You know what I mean? Like about their love lives. If they want to talk about it, that's sorry. Anyway, I know it's getting off topic, but that's just one thing that's been bothering me lately. The girl that I'm talking to right now, she doesn't. That's sort of why I brought it up because she has a lot of guy friends. So I'm not looking forward to that part. But
you better be careful though. That's the only thing. Just be careful because yeah, it's cool and all, but not every guy friend has the best intentions for you. You just got to know how to pay attention
yes,
to what they say, how they say it, and everything in between. Because even though that's your guy friend, they still should have respect for your boyfriend, period. Unless, not saying that you would, but unless, something stupid happens, they still should have, respect for that. And that's one thing that I was telling one of my friends. Sometimes you got to check your friends when they get disrespectful because they may want to say something, but that's y'all relationship, not, you see what I'm saying, theirs. So that's why I kind of like now with the person I'm with right now, I kind of keep everything like in-house. I don't really talk about anything because I want this one to work.
yeah, absolutely. I agree 100% what you're saying. Everything I'm saying. So shout out to all the. If you're a guy and you're watching this and you have a friend that is a girl, I don't like you. No, I'm just kidding. No, but you know who you people are, you motherfuckers. You are watching this video right now. I don't give a shit. You know the only reason you know who you are. I'm not gonna name it, but you know that you're watching this video. You know who the fuck I'm calling you out for. You know you're basically just wanting to hit that, and that's why you're acting like an ass. Sorry, never mind. Sorry, I just
Oh no, for real.
like, no. It's true. It's true. It's true. But anyway, so sort of getting back on track. So okay, so I want to wrap this interview up because I know where you're at. It's almost midnight, so I want to wrap this up. But I will wrap it up. But yeah, by like two more questions really quickly. So moving away from AMBW, so I'm sorry you had the negative experiences that you had. Not trying to apologize.
It
I'm
wasn't that horrible. You was just a jerk.
Exactly, but I'm just saying, like I said, I've sort of been in your shoes before, so I do know how unpleasant, uncomfortable it can be. So that sucks. But so I want to wrap it up by saying, okay, so you are also a makeup artist, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
You're a very interesting person. You're like trifecta of interesting things. So you're in the AMW, you're a tarot reader, and you're a makeup artist. So, out of all this, I guess like between tarot card reading and being a makeup artist, which do you enjoy more?
See, this is the problem because I like doing both. But because of my autoimmune, I have lupus. I have to chillax on the makeup because I actually had big plans for Halloween. I don't know. I may still do something. But because of how finicky my skin's been lately, because my body's been angry, I can't really do too much. So tarot has just been some space. I know how to do a whole bunch of stuff. I'm just holding back. Me and my little brother have the hardest time deciding on what to do because we know how to do so much stuff. So makeup and tarot is my favorite. But I don't know what I'm going to do for Halloween because I had plans and I don't want to say too much in case I still can do them because I haven't been able to share anything since this whole autoimmune started. So, but no.
So you have
No.
Do you have no plans for Halloween? Like no date night plans or anything like that? Like
Maybe. It's just the makeup I wanted to do. I really wanted to do it, even though I said I didn't want to. I was lazy because it may take anywhere between 6 to 8 hours for me to do this makeup. And then I will have to have help because I won't be able to see with the contacts. But that's it. If I can still pull that off, I may pull that off. If not, I got a Velma costume or a the craft costume that I'm just gonna do and just be done with it. But I don't know. I've been trying to get my room situated in this house. Jesus Christ. So I'm pretty much busy with a whole lot of home matters, really. So I don't know what Halloween may have or may not have. We'll just see.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, it's fine, like I'm kind of the same way, like Halloween, like I'm 34 now, so Halloween has not been eventful for me in like I don't know, almost 10 years because it's just nothing to do with age. It's just maybe it's just a mental thing. I'm just kind of like outgrowing it for the most part. Like for me, it's just another like if Halloween was an actual holiday where people got together and had the day off from work, I'd be like, okay, that's a bigger deal. But it's not. And then it literally only lasts like what less than 12 hours or something like that overnight. So it's like, I mean, typically you just pull up Netflix and chill, or just watch movies and streaming, watch scary movies or something like that. That's basically what it comes to. But no,
And to me, it doesn't really matter because
yeah,
I could do special effects makeup throughout the whole year.
yeah,
So it's not just oh, it's Halloween, it's just that one day. No, I know how to do stuff throughout the whole year. It doesn't matter. It's just I kind of missed. And then also it's gonna be 5 years since my best friend passed away, and that was our favorite holiday. So that's why I kind of want to do something this year. But I'm totally cool with just chilling, watching movies, and not doing anything. Yes.
absolutely,
Yep.
100%.
I'm trying to fix my work computer while we're doing this because it's acting a little bit funky.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna wrap this interview up now, but I want to thank you for hanging in there because I know it's kind of been this interview has been kind of wonky. It's been going in and out. But like I said, it's yeah. But I also want to say that you are a very interesting person. That like I said, we're very lucky to have you on this channel because you're jack of all trades. Tarot card reader, makeup artist, and me being a creative person myself, I always gravitate to other creative people, and I love networking, with people such as yourself and all that stuff. So it's a pleasure, talking with you and stuff like that. It's great. We could do this
Thank you for
again.
having me.
I would love to have you. I would actually love to have you bring you on a group panel. Maybe later on down the line. I don't know. I've been trying to get one together, but it's been kind of hard because everyone's so busy. But I would like to do that in the future. I think that'd be great, just to get a bunch of people on the same panel talk. Well, anyway, well that's it. So I'm gonna thank you very much again. And one more thing, we always do this too for all the guests. If people want to follow you on social media or get in touch with you or anything like that, where can people find you?
You can find me on my Instagram because that's where I do the tarot. I do a drop almost daily. I try to. But if not, I post a whole lot of motivating stuff in my stories throughout the day because I try to make it to where if you come to my page, you're not going to come and not take something of value with you once you leave, whether you choose to follow me or not. So you can follow me at Medusa_LaCroix, LACROIX. And that's where I basically do my thing. I can share more and I will share more as time goes by, but the main focus right now is tarot and basically motivating people to stay in high vibration because there's a lot of stuff going on in the world that's easily to keep us down. But I'm like, no, let's keep pushing forward, keep having high hopes and everything, because our mind is more powerful than what we think. And that's why lately I've been trying to get people is to get into the habit of speaking life into themselves. If you don't have nobody speaking life into you, you can speak life into yourself on your own. So go ahead and get that started and then watch what blooms from that. But it starts with you. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm gonna get at you later because I'm gonna get the links to your social media and stuff like that so I can include them in the video description. But anyway, Shaniece, yeah, thank you very much. I'm so glad that we got to do this tonight, and like I said, let's keep in touch because I definitely want to bring you on a group panel. I think it'd be very interesting. All right, guys. Well, that concludes the interview. Thank you for watching. Like this video, watch it and like it and all that stuff. And then if you want to get at her, there's social media. But until then, stay safe and keep watching the video. Shaniece, thank you very much. It was a pleasure. And we'll see you all later. So bye guys. Bye. Bye.